Okay. Sorry, I was still getting ready, but I wanted to start now so you can watch me just continue to set up. This microphone's kind of in the way. Alright. No. This is terrible. What am I doing? I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, guys. Welcome to the Grease Monkey Live channel episode feed. What's the word? Welcome to the Grease Monkey feed or stream. And today I'm gonna be making sci-fi props, and I'm gonna try to incorporate grease pencil as much as possible. I'll be using 3D objects and things like that. But if you have any suggestions for a 3D prop that's a sci-fi prop, like a laser beam, like a cool ATM, or a sci-fi version of something, like a sci-fi version of a light and stuff, please leave a suggestion in the comments, and I will see if I can get to it or do it. But yeah, so we're just gonna be making props. This is really for practice. It's not for anything in particular. It's just for me to not forget how to use Blender, because that sometimes feels like it can happen. So I think the first thing I'm gonna make is something easy, right? It's gonna just be a box. Let me move my microphone even more. Okay. So guess there's no way to hide that. So yeah, we're gonna make a cell phone, which is basically a box that's thin. So we'll make a box. We will check the dimensions. How big is a phone? It's like 9 inches. So like a third of a meter. No, a meter's 3 feet. I'm having a lot of trouble here. Can I just type in inches in here? Let's see. Because I don't want to change it. I kind of like the meters. No, screw it. We're not going to get that precise. We're just going to eyeball this, guys. Sometimes I always do this. I get really caught up in the weeds. And since this isn't for anything in particular, and it's not for like a project that needs to, really be precise, I'll just make it however big. So we'll just see it on the left here. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it's on rendered mode. Good stuff. Let me take this away now. Okay, so we're just gonna eyeball it. We all know what a cell phone looks like, right? I guess we all should have a cell phone, or not should, but probably have a cell phone. So I'm just making a simple box shape, and then I'm just gonna bevel the edges. So I press 2 to go to edges, and then so now I want to select the edges around, and of course I can go and I click every one, and now I only have 2 left. But I want to show you a trick. If you just click on the edge and then go to select, and then go to select loop, and then do ring, you select the ones all around. So now they're all selected, the ones in the bottom, the ones in the top. I hit Control B, which is for bevel, and just beveling those edges. And see, on the left side, already looking like a cell phone. I can put, by scrolling, putting more sides, making like a cool, like, industrial sci-fi, which would be fun, but I like my sci-fi to look a little sleeker. I'm not too much into the rustic or rust and industrial complex of sci-fi. So let's make this round, and we're also making a cell phone. I'm getting too much into this. Just eyeballing the left screen there, like, that looks like a cell phone somebody would have. Great. So now I right click it, hit smooth, and that makes it look all weird, right? So just make sure that you go into, what is this called? Object data properties. I never even take note of any of these names, and I'm just like, yeah, the one with the wrench, the one with the world on it, which I guess is a testament to some good icon design. So go here. Maybe hold on, this music's too loud for me on my end. There we go. That's a little better. Couldn't hear myself think. So yeah, we'll go to object data properties, we'll go to normals, we'll do auto smooth, and we'll do it at an angle of 30, and that just determines that what angle does it have to exceed before it makes it flat, which will be 30 degrees. So that's looking pretty sweet. So we're gonna do what I always do and add a gradient to this thing. So it looks cool, a gradient phone. I think I've made this phone before and when I first started this channel, but we're gonna do it again. We're gonna improve it. So we'll go to materials. We'll add the materials. We'll name your material cell phone. Boom. We got a cell phone. And since we're gonna use the grease pencil, we're gonna use an emission. So I just click on that, press X. And let me make this a little cleaner here. All this information. You're gonna need to know all this. Alright. So cleared that. Shift A. Shader emissions. A fast way to get to the emissions is by just pressing E. Like, I think pressing different letters select different shaders. So if I hit D, diffuse. If I hit P, principal shader. Nice. Shader, E, but here it is. I'm already over it. It's pointless, but if you press E, I got emissions. And that's just a quick tip that I don't think I read anywhere. Just something I figured out from, where did I figure it out from? I used to use or practice in Houdini. Houdini kind of has something like that. Hit Control T, grab, and I don't want an image shader. I want a gradient. So we're gonna do Shift S. Make sure you have Node Wrangler add-on activated. Go to Converter and go to Color Ramp. So that's great, but it's not doing the effect that I want. I want it to be like a gradient from top to bottom. So let's make it more evident. So let's change this color to like, what would be a cool sci-fi color? I don't want to make it, I want to make it colorful. So why do I even bother? I always do the same colors. So let's just do something in this range. I'm like, all right, cool, but that's not the type of gradient that I want. I kind of want the gradient to go either from like bottom to top or top to bottom, and then probably we could figure out some colors. So I used to do this much more complicated before, but all I do now is I erase the mapping node and I put in a converter again, and I do separate XYZ and put the generated onto that, and then depending on which one of these you use, X, Y, or Z, will depend on where the gradient will go, which I think is a really neat trick. So if you do the Z-axis, you'll see that the gradient from the bottom to the top is, of course, blue to pink, and you can see that it matches. And if you did the Y, yeah, see, it'll be the side here. So the Y is this green line, and the X is the red line, and blue's up and down. So yeah, so we got the edges looking pretty sweet. So the back has a different color than the front, which is pretty fun. And then you can do, you know, the one going sideways, left to right, which is also great. But I think I want Z, so that's good. Top to bottom. What's also interesting is you can play with these interpolations, I think it's what it's called, and they will change the way your gradient looks. So if you go to B constant, you'll see that it's a lot smoother. I'll try to switch between them. B constant, linear. See, you can see at the top here, the darkest pink would be right at the top, but with B spline, it kind of fades a little more, and you actually have to bring this dial up to bring it in. It's a bit smoother. It tries to keep a smoother transition, which is pretty nice. You know, and if you do constant, which is also a fun one, you can just do, you know, just two-tone colors, which would be great, I guess, if you were just wanted to color one side and the other. So you got the pink side, blue side. That's looking pretty. That's looking pretty sweet. Let's see. Let's keep going. This gave me an idea. Let's see if I can keep this two-tone and see if I can maybe put a gradient on that. And I'll do that by mixing these colors. I think it's mixing, or maybe I'm doing some math. Let's see, math. We'll do the same thing. Maybe not math. Color, mix RGB. This probably makes more sense. Obviously, not math. Alright, so let's do a like subtract. No, let's and let's switch these up. So yeah, I guess with these I could just really start blocking out colors. Make these blocky. This looks kind of cool. This looks like a pixel, right? Or something. Let's change these colors though. Maybe that'll make it look a little better. And instead of subtract, let's do multiply. And just pick some different fucking colors. Sorry, did not mean to curse. Just so excited here. It breaks it from the side, and if we did it from this way, this is actually pretty neat, because then you can just really like block out some colors for the grease pencil, and just it'll be a lot easier to manage. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it, except I will go to B-spline. So now I got the two-tone, and if I add this, maybe that'll look cooler. Not B-spline, let's do linear. So it's a gradient with two tones on this, on the back, front and the back. So this actually ended up being more of a happy accident here. But let's see. Maybe if I did these black, I just want something more extreme here. There we go. That's what I want. So this more or less should just be black and white. And then we can choose how that black and white is interpreted onto this overlay. You know, I think it's that subtle gradient that I'm really enjoying. Like you can see that this is a little darker than the top here. Maybe if you can even bring it in so the bottoms are a little bit bluer. This bluer, maybe if I can change it to a color that you can really tell. There it is. Okay. So that's looking pretty cool. One color darker than the other, and then just for consistency, since we're making a cell phone, usually cell phones don't have a color in the front and the back, we will make this closer to, oh man, should blue phone or pink phone? If anybody's in the chat, tell me. Blue phone, pink phone, blue phone, pink phone. The choice is yours. I know somebody's watching out there. Alright, coffee break. Just 30 seconds here. While I'm drinking, it's October and it's spooky season, and I'm very excited. October is probably my favorite month. If you can't already tell from my Halloween shirt, my spooky mug. There's spooky things. I think there's a ghost back there. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. But yeah. Ooh, sorry. I'm apologizing to the microphone and you. Okay, so nobody said anything in the chat. We'll keep going. We'll just pick one color, and I think we'll do blue, just cause I'm always doing pink. So let's do blue. So we're gonna copy this color, hover over the color, hit Control C, we copy, and then we'll click on the pink and we'll hit Control V and we paste. Now it's the same color all around, but let's just make this one darker so we can kind of signify what the back of the phone is. So boom, it has that nice little gradient at the top, and I think I want the gradient at the top and the bottom. So I think if I add another, see this darkness is coming from this black color right here, so I want it to be at the top too. So I think I'll just copy this one, add in another one, and boom, I think that's looking pretty sweet. Maybe the B-spline would look better. Yeah. All right, cool. So we got a gradient going on, looking sweet. Emissions, we got the color separation going. I think we can probably give it a closer edge. So it kind of fakes it. It fakes that it has a bevel. So when it turns to the side here, you can kind of see Huh. Let's see if we can add one more color here, if that makes it any cooler. That looks like a glitch. Look at that. What is happening? I think it looks kind of cool though. I wish it wasn't a glitch. It's like it gives me an idea for some texture and stuff or whatever. Oh, it's because it's like right there. It wants to go further. Alright, so the back and the front are the same color? Or should I make this? Oh, there we go. That's looking cool. So, alright, so the cell phone's looking pretty sweet. And I love that, once again, that I can see the light blue here when I'm looking at it from the back. I think it gives it like a nice cartoony feel. So that's pretty sweet. We're gonna just put this at 0.99. Nope, maybe like 0.99. There. Okay, cool. So I got my gradient going. Looking pretty sweet. I want this cell phone to be like a little shiny. So, alright, so we got our nodes looking sweet. Let's do some little organization. You can do the same stuff with like G, R, and S up here. And you can do it right here in the node. So S, see I can like scale them up and down. So what I like to do is I like to grab one, and then I scale from the Y, and I put 0, and there we go. So then I got those there, looking all sweet. I'll do the same thing here. S, Y, 0. Oh man, looking awesome. So there we go. And maybe for organization's sake, we'll do a frame. We'll frame these guys, put them in here. I actually haven't used frames. I may not use it actually. There we go. So this frame, we'll call it gradient. There we go. And we'll use another frame. You know, it's good to be organized. You know? Oh no. And we'll call this cell color. Looking real organized here. Cell color, gradient. Alright, so obviously your cell color's here. And you know what? If we wanted to, we can make this even more versatile, because that's what I like to do. And we can add, I may second guess this actually. Add a hue saturation onto this color here. And then you can change the cell phone color. So let's see. It could be a different color, and it still has the gradient from the top and the bottom. Purple, pink, blue, which is looking mighty fine. Actually, that's pretty cool, since I can change it into any color now. So, I like it. I like it. Anyway, we won't do that though. We'll just leave it normal. Okay, cool. So I got this blue thing for anybody else watching. I'm making sci-fi props, so I can do some 3D and some grease pencil. So right now I'm just building out the basic shape, and then I'll start drawing on it, and then I'll make another prop and do that for a while. So if you have any suggestions for some sci-fi props, please leave them in the chat, please. Thank you. All right, so here we go. We're making the material, which I just made, colors and gradient, and that's why it's top and bottom are like dark blue, and the middle is like a lighter blue, because that's sweet, and the back is a different color. I just had a whole cell phone thing here, so that's looking pretty cool. I'm gonna add I wanted to actually have a reflection, maybe that's I can use some of the EV reflections with the grease pencil and just really make a hybrid 2D 3D thing. So let's do that. What we're gonna do is go to the shader, and if you remember, I said that you can just press a letter and it'll, some of these letters are assigned to these shaders. So if you hit like M, the mix shader, let me get closer. So the mix shader is here. If we go to emission to shader and then we go to and press E, it'll get emissions. Anyway, I may be repeating myself. M, mix shader, and we're gonna go real basic. Basic. We'll go to glossy, and we're gonna make it real shiny. Hey man, how's it going? Marcellum. That's right. Yeah, I missed a couple days, and then I'm back at it now again, pretty consistently. Saturdays, 11 a.m. Pacific. I don't know where you're at, but thank you for stopping by. Yeah, sometimes I get caught up with my day job and some extra side gigs that this falls by the wayside. There should probably be a way I should communicate that. And right now we're just making sci-fi props. So right now I'm making a cell phone, building out the base, and then I'm going to draw on it with the grease pencil, see what I can do creatively with the grease pencil. So right now we want to add the glossy shader because I want this to be shiny, and we'll add it to the mix shader. And this is wrong right here already. So this goes here to the emissions. Here's the mix shader. Oh no, I'm sorry, the glossy shader. Where is the mix shader? Did I get rid of it? Doesn't matter. Control A, shader, M, mix. We're mixing the emissions and the glossy, right? And one of my favorite things to use is layer weights. And then layer weights has Fresnel. I don't know what the difference is between this Fresnel and the Fresnel that's just this one here. It just, I don't know, but I just like using the one in layer weights. Marcellum, was me, you came. Today all my textures, bakes, were coming out black. That's happened to me. Fixed now, grease pencil on top. Yeah, I've had so many issues with baking textures in the past with Blender. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's me. It's like not this like the software, but there's so many nuanced little things sometimes that like it has to be selected, and you have to like have it selected in a node editor so then it can connect, and you have to make sure that there's a lot of, I feel like, tedious background stuff that I think Blender can just automatically take care of before baking. But you know, once again, I love this software. I do not want to be, I'm not hating on it here. Alright, so we'll hit a Fresnel. I can't really tell, but you can see that it has a reflection now, and that's looking pretty sweet. And what we'll do is we'll put the roughness to 0, and then it'll be like a real shiny piece of plate. And that's neat. So like we can even rotate R twice. Now we got a cool looking cell phone type situation here. And you can see it has the reflections, which I like, and the back is dark blue. There's a gradient at the tops and the bottoms where they're darker, so the center is really getting in the focus. It's all these little small things that really add up. So I think now what I want to do is give this a bezel and then start drawing on it with a grease pencil. Like, so we can actually differentiate between the screen. So I'll go to edit mode, go to 3, select the face, which is the lighter side, right? That's what I'm on. Yes. So select the face. Hit I, of course. And give it a tiny little bit of a bezel. We can always fix it later. And then I'll go to materials and I'll add a new material and I'll put cell phone, duplicate it, and we'll call this cell phone, and then we'll say screen. Alright, so now that we have this one, we'll start messing with the settings of the screen. Like, maybe I shouldn't mess with the screen. I should mess with the cell phone. Oh, no. Go to cell phone screen, select this face, and hit assign. So now I know that this is assigned to cell phone screen. I like the shine that it has now, but I think the cell phone probably needs to be more matte. So we'll go to cell phone. And we will, what are we doing? What are we doing? Increasing the roughness on the glossy. So then we increase the roughness. There we go. So now we got a side that's shiny. It has like a bezel look. You know, it shines in the middle with the environment map that I have. The bezel's looking pretty sweet. The screen is shiny, and I think I can start drawing on it now. I think it'll look cool if I start drawing the buttons and maybe drawing some animations or something on it. So yeah, so I got the glossy, the emissions. Before I go, let me test out with this glossy color what happens. Okay, cool. So you can see in this blue here, see how it starts turning purple in this corner. Let's see if I can zoom up. So that's what this glossy is affecting, which I kind of like. I want to choose a color. I don't want it to be white. Would a lighter blue work? Oh yeah, it kind of has like a nice tint to it. Ooh, yes. Right here. That's the angle I like to look at. So let's look through some different colors here. Customize. If you guys like a certain color, let me know. I like this red one. Kind of makes it that purple look. So that's cool. This light blue or turquoise teal thing looking pretty sweet. Sweet. Okay, and then we got green. I never use green, but I'm liking that green there. And look at me, I'm just liking every color. It doesn't even matter. A lot of subtle color blending that's happening just all in this shader right now. And it's not even that complicated of a shader. So I like things to stand out. So we're going to choose a bright color and something that is a different color. So maybe this pink or maybe this purple. Let's see. Ah, but green's good too. I'm undecisive, guys. It's so subtle too because it only happens when the reflection happens, like right when it's turning. Let me turn it by rotating it. Yeah, so subtle. All right, choosing color. We're moving on. Picking purple because I'm basic. There it is. All right, so we got this that has a nice little tint of purple on the edges. All light. It's looking sweet. Smooth. Mixtures of glossy and emissions. I think that's a perfect blend right there. Oh, it looks so good on this edge here. You know what? Let's add a little more to this. What if we can mess with this in a certain way? Let's see. So, whoa, what happened? That's not what I want. This is what I want. All right, so I'm just messing with the normals of the glossy now by using a mapping node and seeing if we can have some more control over that purple. Maybe I can make it appear better. Let's get it right where we can see it. There it is. Okay, so cool. I can control where it's at now. So it's like rotating there. Could I see it? Oh, there it is. Okay, barely see it, guys. Oh man, there. Something like that. That is like some crazy shine. So if I rotate it, man, you know what? We're gonna just keep it simple. I'm going too deep into this. There we go. It just shines when it goes from corner to corner. We're leaving it. We're going. Alright, so I think I want to draw on it now. And what if I made this a little wider? Okay, so what I am going to do is I'm going to make this a little brighter. There we go. Just like that. Very subtle. I just want the border and the glass to really stand out, or the bezel of the phone. So there we go. That stands out. If it's ugly, I can always fix it later. It's not permanent. Looking sweet. Okay. So now let's do some grease pencil stuff. So we got our grease pencil. We will make an object right on it. So let's do some organization. Sorry guys, some maintenance work here. So we'll put the light and the camera, and I usually put it into a new collection, and I call that utilities. If I spell it right, utility. Cool. And that's usually where I put all my technical, like, just stuff like lights and cameras and empties and, you know, just things that aren't like renders. Oh, Wise Books, thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. Today we're going to be making like sci-fi props. So I'm building out the base mesh first, and usually keeping it pretty simple because I definitely want to get into a lot of grease pencil today, and or more grease pencil today. Yeah, so making the base, making it nice, giving it shaders that look cartoony or more cartoony color, and then I'm gonna draw over it and see what that looks like, and try and make it sci-fi. I guess right now this cell phone just looks like an iPhone or something, so it's not really sci-fi, but maybe we can figure out with the grease pencil what we can do. So we'll name everything cell phone. Good stuff. All right, so let's start digging into that grease pencil. There you go. All right. So we'll make a new object, and we will make it a grease pencil, a blank. So there's our grease pencil. I forgot how to, I haven't used grease pencil in a while. Terrible. The grease monk and not using grease pencil. Where is the grid that I need for the grease pencil, guys? Do you guys remember that? Have you guys seen it? Maybe not. Is it grid? I usually thought it was grid, but floor. Oh, Wise Books, I am so sorry. I've been so busy with working my day job and worrying about the world that I did not get to it, but I will promise you I will get to it today. Very sorry, Wise Books. For real. Just so much going on. All right, so let's start going. Maybe I can start drawing on the surface of this. We'll go to the grease pencil. We're in draw mode. We're on surface, and we'll just do a couple strokes here. See what that looks like. So it's moving pretty far away from the surface. I want to give it a little closer. Okay, cool. So the first thing I want to do is I want to give this probably a grease pencil outline, right? So I think 2.91 has the option where you can convert the mesh into a grease pencil object, but I'm not going to convert the whole thing. So we'll go to the phone, go to edit mode. Oh, we're in the grease pencil still. Jesus. All right, so we'll go to the cell phone, and I want to make this a grease pencil object without a fill though. So I'm gonna hit Shift D and I duplicate the back, which is pretty cool. And then I'll hit P, which separates it into its own thing. So I have the cell phone, and then I have the back here, and this continues to have its own back. So yeah, so here we go. We got the cell phone and the back. We'll click on it, hit F3 and do type in convert. It's already here because I've been using this. Convert grease pencil to curve mesh. No, that's not what I'm doing. Oh, convert pencil, grease pencil from curver mesh. So I'll do that, hit the curver mesh, and now I got that outline, which is what I wanted. And now I would take off the fill. I'll actually erase it because I don't need this fill. I have the fill from the box that I made, and I have this grease pencil line on it. Turn on the phone, and we'll see how this looks. I'm not even sure. So that's looking pretty interesting, pretty sweet. So first thing we'll do is we will make it thinner by going into edit mode with the grease pencil and using this tool radius. Marcellum chap, the other time wanted to convert images to grease pencil. I believe that's now possible in 2.91. Wow, grease pencil to images? Oh wait, I think I read this wrong. Other time wanted to convert images to grease pencils. So how would it convert a JPEG or a PNG, or is it convert? Are you saying like an SVG, like a vector file, or are you talking like an image with pixels and everything, and I'll convert it to the grease pencil? Please let me know. Alright, this is looking cool. Black's a little harsh for me, so I'm gonna first start with the blue from the bottom that I have. Let's see if that works. Did that even change? Oh, there we go. Really? That's crazy. I have to see that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Alright, so I'm just matching this grease pencil with the color scheme that I already have going on. I like it. So we'll call this cell back, and it's a grease pencil. And let's see if I can make one of these edges a grease pencil. So that one's cool. Alright, so I'm doing the same here. I'm selecting it from the cell phone. I Shift D to duplicate it. And hit P. Separate by selection. To make it less confusing, I'll call this cell front. F3. Oop. Gotta go into object mode. Then F3. And does that not work? There we go. Okay, there we go. And then convert it to grease pencil object. This stroke's a little... I'm gonna use the same stroke I made before with the same color. Go to edit mode. And then we will make them thinner. Okay, so far we got cell phone going on, thicker one in the back, smaller one in the front. So I think it gives it a nice, like, smooth effect. there. And let's see if we could do one more. We'll do 3, right? We will go back into cell phone. Oh, let me name this. Did I not name this? Cell front. Marcellum. It's the same library as Inkscape, Blender today. Shorts. That's so awesome. That is so awesome. Right. Let's keep going here. We will select the cell phone. Go to edit mode. Go to object mode, I mean. Select the cell phone. Go to edit mode. Hold Alt so I can select the inside of the screen, or the screen, I should say. Shift D to duplicate. P, and then by separate by selection. We will go back to object mode, and we will call this screen. I think it's looking kind of cooler now, even. I think I got an idea now. So we got the screen separated. We'll do cell screen. Object mode, convert it. Use that same stroke as we continue building up more. Call the stroke like cell outline, which is cool. Cool. What's blue? I can barely tell. We'll make it thinner. Okay, there we go. So I think it's looking pretty sweet. I'm seeing some doubling up here on this line. And I think it's because it's just floating above it, isn't it? Let's see. It was. So there you go. So this line's looking pretty good. We've got a cell phone. Looking sweet. We'll grab this back one. Same thing's happening back here. I can't even see it. I'm trying to lay it flat here. Oops. Alright, whatever. So cell phone's coming along. We got the lines going on. Looking pretty sweet. I like how the line kind of disappears at some points. Gets a little thinner. I don't know if that's a glitch. Most likely. Let's move this a little closer. We'll keep fiddling with it, aren't we? All right. Can't even see it back there anymore. All right, cool. So we have little details going on. Reflection, the grease pencil. Let's see if we could do something interesting. Let's name this the screen. Spitfire. How's it going? Good to see you here. Spitfire storyboards. With the excellent channel. Everybody in here, check him out. He does great work. So we got the lines for the cell phone, and once again, I was trying to make something sci-fi. We got this nice gloss going. Maybe it needs to be a little harsher, I think, so it comes off a little bit more cartoony. It's pink. We got a shine that happens with the cell phone, so that's nice. So let me name my layers again. Let me erase this grease pencil object. Let me name this layer cell screen. And let's see. When I ripped the screen before, I thought it looked pretty sweet. So we'll go into the editor, go to the cell phone that we made, hit 3, go to the face, we'll select it, and we're just gonna separate it. I think that's with Y, right? Yeah. Did that work? Great, it did work. So now it's separated, and I thought it would do a thing where it made it darker because of the normals changing. Did it? I think it did. Maybe not. Let's try it again. I don't know. I detached it. I feel like the normals look a little better. Maybe they don't. So here we are, moving along. Let's go back to grease pencil, and let's attach. Also, let's parent all these grease pencil objects, all the lines, to the cell phone base. So we'll select them all. The last one that's selected is yellow instead of orange, and P. No, Control P. It will do objects. Now it's on the cell phone, so the whole body of the cell phone, we can move this cell phone around. It's looking pretty solid. Pretty kind of looks like a, I don't know, some sort of illustration. But we're using the grease pencil for the lines, which is looking pretty sweet. And now I want to do some more stuff with grease pencil. I'm still wet behind the ears when it comes to drawing. So let's figure out what we can add to take this to the next step of sci-fi. Like, what can I draw on it? Let's just make the grease pencil. Make a blank. Bring it up in front. Let's just draw on the surface right now, just to see what ideas come. We can draw a line, cracks. So let's try a big old marker. It's looking fun. Looks like it's like right on it. All right. What if it was like projecting something upwards? Let's make this flat. Rotate 90 on the, oops. Select the object. Oh, I am in draw mode. Okay. Select the object. Rotate X 90. Negative 90. There we go. And let's move our camera. So maybe it's closer. It's a little higher up. Let's rotate it down. You can see. We are really high up here. All right, let's see what we can draw. Go back to our grease pencil object. Where's my draw? There it is. We'll do origin. That's a real dull color that I'm drawing in. I really need some brighter colors in my life. Great. We will start with the base of this blue, but we'll change the hue. Maybe something red. Red alerts. It's pretty dark, and I think it's because my layer is being affected by lights, right? There is no layer. There it is. So I'll make it be affected by lights later. I just have no lights in the scene. I need to work more like this. All right, let's see what we can do. maybe like somebody's calling and the interface is projecting the contact information and stuff. So that would be fun to mirror the screen that pops off your thing, right? So we'll start with, sorry guys, bear with me going through the thought process. We will make the contact sheet first. So let's do contact. That's what this layer is called. And then in draw mode, we will go to the origin and we'll adjust from there. We will start with the circle, which is pretty cool. Looks like a donut. There we go. I like it. Just gotta eyeball this. So it pops up there. This is something real thick. Looks like a donut, so we will make it smaller. Alright. And just so we can have the effect now, what if we did bloom? Does bloom work? Bloom works, right? Alright, so we're gonna keep on going. Go to layers, the material. There is bloom, right? Grease pencil has bloom, right? I'm forgetting now. Like I can use the bloom effect with Eevee and they glow. Let me do a test real quick with something. Just making this into any missions. Okay, so it does have bloom. Just working on meshes. Alright. We'll keep going. We're gonna make the contact sheet. That's what we're doing. Losing my mind over here. So this is gonna be the circle where the image is at, and I'll draw a little funny image in there. Yeah, I guess yeah, definitely Spitfire. I could definitely use that. I guess I just wanted the material to use the bloom from the Eevee itself instead of using like one of these effects. But why am I complaining when you're absolutely right, Spitfire? Thank you. I should have just done that. I'm always overcomplicating things. So thank you for that. So we'll just do the glow as suggested by Spitfire. And we will do add. I kind of like the subtlety of add, maybe not. We will go back to this grease pencil. Go to the materials. Change it back to the color I wanted. That's good. Let's something less alarming, maybe. Maybe like an orange. There. Looking good. We will make another one on the same layer. Well, that's the circle, yep. And so many modes to switch between. We'll get another material. This will be material 3, right? Material 3. This one's, we'll call this contact orange. Duplicate that, and this will be the film. We'll copy the color just by hovering over it. Control C. Hover over the next color. Control V. Bam. All right. Definitely. I will combine both. I'm always like, I'm always taking the time to constrict myself and cripple myself in every way. But yes, I will use both. That is good. Still have it on, right? Yes, I do. All right, where was I going? Materials. We were copying this color to this and making a circle. Cool. Fudge. There we go. Once again, usually I would like the precision to be like, I know this is exactly in the center. But we're not going to do that right now. And then we're going to give it some depth. There we go. And then we're also going to change the color. Yeah, it definitely looks a little wonky, but it's fine, guys. It's fine. We're hanging out. We're chilling. And maybe this glow should only be on the ring. Oh, can I not separate the glow from by layer? Pretty lame. Alright, so let's separate this. We'll hit P by selection. Made another grease pencil. Go to this one. Wait, what is happening here? So I'm clicking on this grease pencil. Oh, it's because I'm in draw mode. It's always what's happening. There we go. Take off this material, this glow. Okay. So I got a glow going on. I got the background to my contact. We will move this a little back because that's usually where the contact information is. We're going to rotate this phone, right? Let's speed up here. So it looks like somebody has it. Somebody usually holds it at like a 45-degree angle, right? Like, I'm never taking calculations on how big or what the angle of my phone tilt is. So I'm going to just tilt it by 45 degrees because that's maybe 35. Hold on. Oop, wrong one. Nope, 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 nope. So we'll do negative 45. Beautiful. And we're going to select the grease pencil objects. And we're going to make them bigger. I'm just looking at the left screen now to see what would work. Cool. So I got that's where the image is gonna be, and we're gonna do one more of these. I like where this is going, so we're gonna call this contact ring, and we're gonna call this second one contact BG, and we are going to make an empty there and parent it to the empty so I can control this much easier and I'm not scared to touch it and stuff. So I'm selecting them all, Shift S, cursor to selected, puts it right in the center for me. And then I hit Shift A, empty. And we will do a plane axis there. It's so huge. Marcel, nice stuff. Gonna head off. You got this tight style and organization, which I could do with learning. Catch you. Marcel, thank you for stopping by. And I appreciate the compliments on my style. I definitely never feels like I have a style, but the more I do these streams, I start realizing maybe I do lean particularly heavy one way. But have a great day and great weekend, and I hope everything goes well with you this weekend. All right, my cat is coming in to the shot on my tablet. She's trying to find a way onto my shoulder. Oh, she's leaving. I feel bad now. She's gone. Okay, so let's keep going. So we got the empty. We're gonna call this contact. We're gonna parent those grease pencils to that empty. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Nope, I parented it the wrong way. There, it has to stay, it has to be yellow, and then the others are orange. Control P, objects, there it is. You can see the little symbol there. Now I can get this and rotate it whichever way, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna add another contact background thing, except this time I'm just going to duplicate it and then bring it forward a little bit and see if I can do some cool UI thing here, where it's like one of these, kind of like a Skype or something. Oops. Grab by the Y, make it smaller, grab, so we can do that, and let's fill this with the contact fill, but let's duplicate it, change the color, and then assign it to this there. Cool, so I got this grease pencil thing going on, looking cool. Looks like a little contact sheet or a contact image that pops up. So I'm having some fun here. Good stuff. Contact. What else can I do here? So we are gonna move this camera back. Actually, what we're gonna do is I want some general control over this camera. So I'm going to make center my cursor and then make an empty that I'm not gonna be able to see, but it's gonna be a sphere. And I'm going to level out my camera. No, not level it out. I'm just gonna parent it to the empty. So boom, we'll call this cam. Yes, I think you're right. A grid would look pretty nice. I will do that next. Okay, cool. So I have this camera attached to this empty. I'm gonna make the empty invisible for now. Oh, but I can't rotate it while it's invisible, huh? Great. So then I can get some angles on it and I can continue working on it the way that I want. Ooh, what is... There's that bloom. That bloom's intense. Let's take that down. Oh, it's because I put it way high. So we'll just do a little bloom there. No. Alright, so let's rotate this. So that's looking pretty cool. Cell phone turned. Spitfire recommended a grid, and I think he is absolutely right. So let's make a grease pencil grid, and then we'll color it. So we'll make a mesh, and I'll make a plane. And for right now, let's see if we could just make this cell phone business invisible. Great. I'm also gonna make the contact empty invisible and the cam invisible, and we're gonna work on this plane. Alright, so making the cell phone, we're going to make a grid by getting a plane and then subdividing it by going into edit, right click, subdivide. You'll see this bottom left corner, you'll see all your settings down here. I'll do it by, let's say something 10. Yeah, 10 by 10 grid. So that's good. And now we're going to go into object, click on this, hit F3, convert grease pencil from mesh, and we got our beautiful grid. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I don't know why I say that. It sounds so negative. I could just take off this fill. I don't want the fill. Now we're left with the grid, and a pretty thick grid at that. So let's Let's make it thinner by going into edit mode, selecting it all, selecting the radius here. And I'm looking at the left one to make it thin. All right. There we go. We're working. Okay, so we'll turn on our cell phone again and figure out how to utilize this grid here. We'll rotate it. We know that we rotated the phone at 45, so we'll rotate the grid by 45. Looking pretty sweet. And then we'll grab by Z. And then we're going to figure out what fun things we can do here. Let's see. Let's go into edit mode. Let's start erasing some of these and seeing what that looks like. Object is to Spitfire storyboards. Object to grease pencil is great, and isn't it? One thing I watch out for is if you want shadows, keep your original geo. Good notes. And yes, it is great. It makes it so much easier. So is this doubled up? Hold on. It looks doubled up, right? Am I going crazy? This is doubled up, right? Spitfire storyboards. You could use that grid as an add alpha layer. Grease pencil doesn't cast shadow. Oh, definitely. That's what I was planning to do. I was figuring out more like the placement now, but definitely that's exactly, you read my mind. It's basically. So what's interesting is that when I converted it, it looks like it doubled up the lines. Like this looks doubled up. Let's do it one more time, right? Just because I'm curious about this now. We will make a plane. We will subdivide it. We'll subdivide it by, instead of 10, I'm thinking I'm gonna do 5. Maybe 8. Okay. F3 and convert. We are now deleting. Is this the layers? Is there 2 different layers? There is. That was the issue. I'm a dummy. So if I erase that layer and now go into this and make it thinner, it's not doubled up anymore, right? Okay, so it was only doubled up. My bad. I was not paying attention. It's only doubled up because it had the fill layer and the outline layers, and I just took the lines. So bring back the cell phone. Rotate 45 on the X. Oops. Edit mode. Make it thin. Bring it out. Great. All right, let's see what you were saying. So were you saying to? Let me just reread what you said. It's written. You can use that grid as an add alpha layer. So like this, right? Oh, it's not adding itself to the geo that I have there. Let's see. Could I okay. So right now, I am. It's kind of transparent. Yes, that's that's the thinking. That's the thinking that I need here at Grease Monkey. So let's do that. So let's make the face like you were saying, and I have it here, front, right? So I have the face here, and I'm gonna separate it. And we're just gonna call this screen. Cool. And then we are going to make these things invisible because they're bothering me. These empties. Okay, so where were we? We made a screen, and the screen is here, and there's it without a screen below. So we got the screen going. We will convert to grease pencil. Ooh, excuse me. Should have muted that. And then we're gonna take off the stroke layer, the line layer. And then we have the fill. And then we'll make another layer. And just for a test real quick, before I do what I'm gonna do, just gonna draw a square that lays flat. There, it's so thick. Alright, let's keep going. Square. And then we will do an add, subtract. No. Mask. Fill. And there it is. So that's cool. So with that mask, like you were saying, I can kind of make a grid on there that when you rotate it, the grid kind of rotates around as well, which I think would be an interesting effect. So let's do that. You're absolutely right. Thank you for the suggestion. Again, Spitfire, killing it today. Let's make that grid, convert it, and then transfer it over to this grease pencil object, which is the screen. And we'll get rid of the collection. And we won't look at the screen. We will make what we were talking about before. And what am I doing? I'm in object mode, right? What's happening here? Am I still like in grease pencil? I think that's what it is. Yes. That was weird. I went as an edit mode, and then I deactivated the grease pencil, and then I couldn't create anything because I was still in grease pencil, but you can't see it. I can't switch modes. And see, I can imagine somebody getting stuck like this and not knowing how to get out of this. But yeah, accidentally making that invisible while you're in edit mode is a no-go. No-go. Anyway, so now we make it invisible. Now we'll make the mesh. We will subdivide, do it the thing, 10, maybe even more. We will then convert to object. We would get rid of the fill. Great. Select all these, make them thinner. Beautiful. And we will then get this grease pencil and we will move it. We will oh, Spitfire. I'm learning about appending and moving animation locations with delta, etc. Setting up poly, how do you say his name? Poly Jords towards from for my dude to dodge. That's really awesome, man. Like, appending is like one of the coolest things too, because then you can keep your file small. File file. You can have like a main file, and then you can have all the assets in different files, and then append them in. And if you needed to edit like the gun, then you just go to that file, edit the gun, and the thing transfers over. And that, I think that helps with optimizations once your scenes get bigger and bigger. So yes, appending is pretty sweet. All right, so let's go. Bring this grease pencil. We'll rotate it on the X by 45. Oh, you know what? We won't do it in edit mode. We will do it in this mode. So then we can still use its normals to bring it out like this. "3D Rock, man, how's it going?" It's going well. Thank you for joining. It's been a while. I've missed a couple Saturdays, but I think I've been getting the Saturdays now. Hope you're doing well. Right now, I'm just practicing, stumbling my way through, making some sci-fi props. I have some that I'm working on, like on my own, but this is one that I'm just doing for the live stream, particularly for you guys to make a cool image. So hopefully that turns out well. It's 12:30 p.m. on my end, so I think I want to spend about 1 more hour in this. So I gotta get the juices going. Let me take a big sip of coffee. And while I take a sip, I just like to say that yeah, how are you doing? What's up? Tell me something that happened this week. My week was real busy. I'm like on 3 projects and bouncing back and forth. And normally I have a day where I sleep in, but no, I've had none. I've been getting like 5 hours of sleep every day. But it's good. I'd rather be working than, in an unfortunate like being in an unfortunate situation. So I'm really appreciative that I can work. So 3D Rock, I've been super busy. It's been a while. Yeah. Same. Is there anything you liked or appreciated this week? Just one thing, like you had a good ice cream, you saw a good movie. Let's highlight like that silver lining in this week. All right. So where am I? Selecting these two. Can I combine these? Can't Control J them together. Three Rock. My girlfriend made me a pretty dope animation in Procreate. That is awesome. I can't wait to get a. Yeah, I can't wait to get an iPad. Procreate is like I don't know. It's like eye candy. I look at it and like the iPad, everything, and I can't wait. I'm saving up for one. Spitfire storyboards. I love Procreate. The animation assist is limited but real nice addition. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess for an app on an iPad, you know. The silver lining for me is, let's see. Honestly, I did have some time to do some drawing because I haven't I do ink and pen and ink drawings. So silver lining for me is I was actually able to get some drawings in this week, some personal stuff to learn and stuff like that. All right, so I combined the grease pencil objects before I keep getting distracted. And let's see. We'll go. We have the fill, which we should just call this by the name. So screen. And then grid. We'll do a mask and we'll do it on the screen. Boom. So that's looking pretty cool. Pretty awesome. Alright, so let's keep going and figure out how to incorporate this. So we got the screen, but what's interesting is that now that I made the fill layer of the screen there, it's kind of looking weird. Let's see if I can make it into a gradient. I'm gonna read the chat here. If she wants another decent animation package, try CaliPeg. You can roll like paper. Nice. Oh, she's working on Blender tutorials here and there, but it's a hobby. Yo, it's really cool that like your girlfriend does Blender. It's cool to have like your partner in crime, you know, make stuff too. What does she like to make? What does your girlfriend make in Blender? Alright, where was I? Making a cell phone screen. So here's a cell phone. I think there's a weird glitch going on where it's like going on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Okay, let's do gradient and see what that looks like. There we go. We're getting closer. I'm literally just messing with dials to make this work. Oh, I like this. This is getting there. Alright. Just to make this easy, we're gonna base color. Can roll like paper. What's the button input to show entire timeline? I think Spitfire, it's going to be the home key, right? But since you're on laptop, do you have that option in your preferences where let's see if I can find it here. Emulate 3-button mouse, emulate numpad, advanced numeric numpad. But yeah, it's usually the home key. But I know you may not have a home key on your laptop, right, Spitfire? 3D Rock. Well, about 3 months ago, she did. Oh man, I gotta read this better. 3D Rock. Well, about 3 months ago, she did the donut tutorial, and a week ago, she did a mock-up for her uncle's store of bubble teas with splashes with Sims. That is amazing. From the donut tutorial to doing Sims and just how easily, just approachable Blender is really, really awesome. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. So awesome. Thanks for sharing, 3D Rock. All right, let's see if we can do some alpha here. We can color this probably a different color. Okay, we're getting closer to this grid. Spitfire, the donut tutorial, the rite of passage. It sure is. It sure is. That's what I recommend to everybody. Blender Guru did a great job making that tutorial. Yeah, you should be impressed. Tell her a random stranger online is impressed, but also knew that she could. Okay, so we got the grid. It's looking pretty okay. We'll hit add, which is kind of nice. Right. We got a grid going on, and the grid kind of moves, but maybe if we do something cool with the grid, like what if we get this grid, right? Work with me here, guys. And we get this grid, which I realize I can't. Oh, darn, man. Okay, so we're gonna erase this grid, and we're gonna do something. We're gonna make it easier to select. So for this, we'll do vertex groups, and we'll call this screen. And we'll assign this. So then now when I'm in, they're all here, right? I can select the screen only, right? And move it. And then select everything else. And we will select grid. So what I'm doing is I'm creating vertex groups because since I have this effect where the grid is overlaying over the screen, I want to be able to select them easily and not have to like fiddle with anything. So I'm just assigning the different vertex points to vertex groups. So then if I'll show you now, if I wanted to select the screen, I'll be like screen. Oopsies. I think I screwed it up. Oh no, so I hit select. I got the screen. But if I didn't want the screen and I wanted the grid, I hit select and I got the grid. And that makes it easier to deal with instead of having to click back and forth and stuff. So we're in edit mode, still going at it. We are going to get the grid, select it, and see if we can. And where's my view here? What's happening here? Let's see if I can get a better view from the camera. So we'll select. The camera, hold on, is my camera not on a null? Did I start over? What happened here? Let me save, guys. I realized I didn't save last time it crashed. Saving. Amateur mistake, guys. Amateur. It's embarrassing. Okay, so we got our camera, and I thought my camera was attached to a null. Thought I had a null here. Yeah, what is this? How can I set what? Oh, it's because. Okay, where is this? Oh, I have two cameras. That's my issue. So we'll erase this camera. Nope. What is this camera? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh, I see. There it goes. That makes more sense. So what I had the camera outside of the collection, but the empty was in the collection. So I had this weird thing where I could see it at the bottom, but technically it was in this collection. Just fixed it. Let's move our camera around. Then I assume I'm not in my camera right now. I am not sure what's happening. There it is. There we go. So we got our cell phone going on. Got the blue lines. So we got this grid. Let me see if I can make this grid just a little bit more dynamic. So we will go into it. Oh, I haven't even checked the chat, guys. Whoa. Say 3D rock saving the other rite of passage. I usually pass and lose my work. Yeah, I did that in the last stream, lost my work, and it was actually pretty frustrating. Okay, so we're making this grid, and I want it to look like it's inside, so I grabbed it, and I'm not doing that. I grabbed it, and I'm gonna go into edit mode, and then I want to select just the grid, not the screen, because they're in the same grease pencil object. So click on this screen real quick. And then I just want, since I made the vertex group, bam, I'm gonna hit select on the grid. I select just the grid, and then I can make this look deeper and maybe bigger. Maybe there's something cool here that we can do. Okay, and I can't see it because it's behind, but I think there's an option here. We're just experimenting here, you know. 3D location, how about 2D location? I'm just trying to find something fun to do with this grid. The grid is huge right now, so let's make it smaller. Oh man, smaller. I think I like where it's going. I think I don't. I'm not even sure. Still thinking. I think what I want to do is, I think this grid for me is adding too much detail, and it's becoming a little overwhelming. So I'm gonna switch up the tactic, and I'm going to try and make blocks of color instead. So let's make that invisible. And also I'm gonna make this background, let me just do it now. This background for the contact, a different color. So let's find it, contact background, go here, and it needs to be something better. Like, let's look at it from this angle. Oh. See, I hate how distorted this looks on the left side of the screen. So make sure when you're in your camera, you can select your lens, but you can also select your lens in the viewport. So if you go to the viewport here, and then you click on a focal length. Oh shoot. There you go. You have to be out of the camera. And click focal length. Change that I like to change it to something like 150 or something, because I don't like my screen getting distorted. So there we go. So now it looks less distorted. This color's looking all right, but I'm gonna need something to look, I don't know, I need it to be, probably matches the theme but sticks out a little bit more. Maybe green. Should I do hints of green? I think we could throw in some greens in there, because I think it makes it stand out a bit more. Alright, so we'll just settle with this blue here, and we'll keep going. So we'll hit save again. Back to the original thing. It's so easy to get distracted in Blender. There's so many shiny things. So many shiny things. I love it. So let's do it. Instead of doing the grid, let's make some blocks of shape. And the blocks of shape we will use is with this fill, and we'll do surface, and we'll do it like this. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm getting the shapes, and I'm trying to put shapes right on the screen, but I want to make it flat. And if I remember correctly, I could do something. Let me see. I hate when I can't do it right in the first try to show you guys. but there was a way to get the normals and then make the viewport look at that in that angle. But let's see if I could do it real quick. If not, I give up. I'll give up pretty easily. It's under here, and I think it's under, you click on this little plus here, create orientation to the face, right? So then if I click on face and I grab on the Y, oh man, I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew just right off the top. But it has something to do with creating a transform orientation, hitting the plus, and it being on this face, so then you can easily just like look at that. But alas, I'm not prepped for that. For the next time. Alright, so for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some parenting so I can rotate this flat and me do the blocks that I need to do. So we will get this contact and we will parent it also with everything in it to the cell phone. So parent object. Now the parent, oh, we still need to do the screen as well. Parent that to the screen. That didn't work. Let's see, can I just do this? Screen. Now when I choose the cell phone, everything moves together, which is exactly what I want. Alright, so now that we're in the cell phone, we can make this flat again. And I can draw the things I need to draw. And my camera's messed up, so let's reset the orientation. Let's unparent the camera so I can clear everything from it. Give it a 90. Move it back. It looks weird because we're looking dead on it. We'll reparent. Beautiful. And we'll make that invisible, and we will make this other null invisible. So now we just got this. We're gonna get rid of these lines because we can kind of already know where it is. And now let's draw our squares that I've been wanting. See, a lot of Blender time sometimes it's just setting up. Let's make the camera invisible as well. Let's go to our screen again, and you know, I have these like materials here that I want to get rid of, but I'm so afraid sometimes that I'm like, did I not name this? And it's not actually something important. But we're just gonna risk it, right? We're just gonna hit minus. Everything looks still the same, so that's kind of good. Hopefully I don't pay for that later. So let's go back to looking at it dead on. And let's make some squares. So we'll go to draw mode, square. The material we'll use a new material. And we will move it. Can we get the contact material? Great. We'll get the contact fill. We will duplicate it, but we will call this screen blocks. Beautiful. So we got the screen blocks going on. We're gonna now draw our block, and it appears flat on it, looking good, right? So now what I want to do is set blocks of detail, and it's because this grid was to add. That's why it was white, guys. And also opacity. There it is. So the opacity, the lights, all that was affecting it. So now we got back. So now I'm gonna start making blocks of information. So things looking a little nicer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna change the color, and instead of this cell phone, this bright, crazy orange, we're gonna make it this dark blue here. And we're just gonna go. And we'll color it later. We're just gonna make blocks, and we'll make one like this, and then we'll go to edit mode, and then we'll start duplicating them around, see if they make sense. So that looks cool. We'll duplicate it, move it on the X, bring it down like this, give it a little margin, grab the side. You think it would be easy, right? Like just grabbing the side. I think what I want to do is I want to, all these points, I don't think they're necessary. Maybe they are. Maybe if I erase them, they'll go away. But I'm gonna select them all. I'm gonna hit X and then do dissolve between. So I think I'm left. I think. Oh no, it didn't do anything. Okay, so dissolve. How about just dissolve? Nope. How about we just take away the corners and then dissolve? Good. Okay, so now I'm left with the simplest of squares for the grease pencil. So I select the other square, hit L. I'll deselect the corners real quick, make this easier, and dissolve. Okay, so now we got what I've been wanting here, which was just these squares, and now I can start really stretching these out. Maybe bring one like this. Nope. I can probably grab points and really fine tune this. So somebody's probably calling this cell phone, so I would say that this information will probably be smaller and near the bottom. What information is usually on a cell phone, right? Like when the people call you. So we'll bring this down. Right. Oops. Bring this down. And we will, whoop, grab the squares. Bring it up. I'm just looking at the left side to see how the screen looks. I guess the name would be like right underneath, right? Right underneath. Something like that. Alright. So that's, we got some squares there. And I think we would have some buttons at the bottom. And maybe the buttons at the bottom would be 3 buttons. It would be like answer call, hang up, and there's usually a third option, right? So we will do some fine tuning here with the color. Maybe that looks all right there. And then we'll put text on here, and that's kind of what it'll look up. But I think the text will pop out, and I think that's what will make it fun. So go back to front facing. We'll do the circle, and we'll do a circle here, holding Shift and Alt so we can make a perfect circle. We'll grab it, and we'll just eyeball it. I know things are not even, but you know, sometimes you just gotta eyeball it. Oop, screwed that up. Enter. That shape is looking real weird and jaggedy. What is happening there? Oh, I know what's happening. I have it on surface, so we're just gonna do origin because we're gonna rotate it anyway. Or not origin, we'll just do 3D cursor. So we'll make a circle, it goes in there, and I screwed that up. That's not what I wanted. Not 3D cursor, we'll do origin. We'll do origin. Or not, or not. Is it 3D cursor? Am I doing this wrong? Where's my 3D cursor right now? Let's see how my 3D cursor is oriented. You can check your 3D cursor and the orientation of it on the right side usually. I think it's under view. 3D cursor. Yeah, it's all zeroed out. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. So on screen, this is our screen going on. We're here. We're on the layers. This is where the grid stuff is going to be going. But we'll call this panels. Nice. But yeah, we're going to make those 3 buttons. Go to screen, go to draw mode, the circles, and we'll just do view. That's probably it. That's probably my issue. Great. So I got my circle going on, which is great, but that looks ridiculous. So many dots. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty obsessed sometimes with like optimization. All right, so I'm just gonna eyeball it. That looks like the center, right? Centered right there. Great. We will bring that down, and we will make it smaller, right? And then we will duplicate it on the X. And to keep consistency here, let's see if I can do this right. I'm going to select this point, make the cursor go into it. Oop. I'm doing cursor to selected. Cursor's there. Beautiful stuff. I'm going to select all this with the L. That selects everything that's linked. I'm going to hit the greater than key, or the period key, and select 3D cursor. And then I'm going to rotate this 45 degrees. Rotate 45 on the X. Cool. So those buttons are coming up. Great. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. So let's see if this works. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm selecting it, and I want it to be mirrored on the other side. So when I select it all in edit mode, right? And then I hit Control M. So it says select mirror on the axis, and I hit X. Great. So that's beautiful. So right now I think it's using the 3D cursor as its center point. So I'm duplicating this, Control M to mirror on the axis, and I hit X, and I'm mirrored. Cool. So I know that this is perfectly on the other side. This middle one though, maybe not. So now we got these 3 circles, which I think I'm going to separate from the rest of the batch. So let's select the dot of vertices from each. Hit L on them so they're all selected. Hit grab, and I'm going to hit M. And what I'm doing is I'm shifting it to a different layer in the same grease pencil object. So new layer. It is dark because it's not using the lights, but we'll call this the buttons, right? And take off the lights. And now we got these on a whole separate layer. So that's looking cool. We'll do the same thing that we were originally doing. We'll choose one at the bottom here. And we'll hit cursor to selected. And we will make sure that we are in 3D cursor mode here. And select all of them, and since we're on that layer, oh no. So when I hit A, I selected everything, the screen as well. Sometimes I don't like that. So something easy to do is if you go to the this little arrow key on the right side, you can auto lock inactive layers. So then now it locks all the layers. So when I hit A, it only selects the layer that I'm on, and you can see that the lock unlocks on the one that you're on. On the buttons, so I'm gonna then rotate these by 45 degrees. So rotate 45 on the X, and that's looking pretty sweet. Let's get a good look of it on the left side because that view is ugly. So we will rotate this. Nope, that's the wrong rotation. We would go to object mode and then rotate this. All right, there we go. So I want to rotate from the bounding box. There we go. So there we go. We got our cell phone going on. We'll put this angle here. I think that's looking pretty cool. Just like this. Spitfire storyboards. Oh, that auto lock inactive is good. Didn't know that or had forgotten. Yeah, definitely. I forget about all the buttons on here, but yes, it is a lifesaver, especially when you're like dealing with more complex stuff. it can like just be so annoying. It could be so annoying. It's like you're playing in sand and you're like trying to move individual sand particles with like tweezers and stuff. So I like how these buttons look, but I want them to be a little cooler. Maybe I'll add a border to them. So let's go back to the screen. Go to our buttons. Go to our color here. These are all the same color. And if we take the colors, there's screen blocks here. Right now it gets rid of everything. Oh, not everything, but the 2 blocks at the top. I want to separate it. So I'm going to do, call this one screen blocks, which it already is. I'll make another layer, type in screen blocks. And then duplicate it. So now it's called screen blocks.001. And then we're going to call this buttons. Beautiful. So now that we have the screen buttons, we'll change the color just so we can see that they change. Nothing changes here because nothing's assigned to them. And we will assign this color or this material onto this. Boom, assigned. So that's looking pretty sweet. And that red color may look good, but maybe I should just be consistent and use this orange that we got up here. It is a little lighter though. It's kind of weird. Hold on. Is my layer using lights? No. Whatever. Getting too caught up in here. We gotta keep on trucking. That's what you gotta do sometimes. You gotta keep on moving. So let's just go through some different colors. I'm looking at the left screen to see what looks good. Maybe I can pick a base color like that to match the rest of it. I can add a stroke. Stroke is huge, so definitely want to make those go small. So we'll make that stroke small. That's pretty cool. This also matches what we have on this end. Let me just get that same color, honestly. I'm just gonna grab that same color. So where's the contact sheet? The ring. Okay, it's this color. Screen. Alright, so I got the little orange color. Maybe it needs to be a little thicker. Make them stand out more. So I'm going to put icons on these, and that'll be cool to look at. I'll probably draw all these. And then could we, in this one, add the glow? And it look fine. Oh my god, this glow is crazy. So my screen's got a glow, which is pretty cool actually. If it's used correctly. I see a lot of potential in this glow. I see potential, kid. So let's take off the glow. I wish the glow had it so it could be like per layer, or like for certain layers and stuff, right? Don't you wish? Don't you ever wish? Okay, so I'm gonna separate these buttons from the screen and everything. So what I'm gonna do is go to the screen, go to layers, because I think I'm gonna add that glow effect to the screen. So let's figure out where the screen is. There it is. And the panels, these panels are gonna go on it. So let's see what I can do here. Auto lock. Can I select 2? So if I go to edit mode, draw mode, not M. Is it P? P. No, edit mode. Grab. Okay, great. Auto lock layers. Buttons only. Grab. P. We're just gonna make it a separate object, and we'll call this buttons. Cell buttons. Great. It's dark because it's using lights, I guess. It shouldn't though, right? Okay, so this screen here. So buttons. If I put the screen back on, the screen's on. Buttons back on, buttons back on. We're in edit mode. We'll go to the buttons. And yes, it was using lights. Okay, we're back to square one. Now we can go to the cell screen. Let's rename this the cell screen. Okay, cool. So we got the cell screen. Then we'll add the layer, add the glow. I think it looks kind of cool. Maybe if we had 32 samples. The samples really didn't do much, so we'll do 8. Pretty cool. Opacity. How about add? There we go. Threshold. Cool. So the screen looks like it's glowing now, which has a neat effect. Maybe subtract. That's crazy. I'm just testing out to see what they look like. Divide. Regular. Opacity. Alright, so I got the screen going on. And I put glow under. There. Now I can see the panels. The screen's glowing. I can even probably make this bigger. And when I rotate around it, the glow goes away. So that's pretty cool. So I got the glow going on. Maybe a little strong, right? Maybe a little strong. Maybe just a little lighter here. Now you can barely see it. There it is. Great. So we got our buttons, we got our glow. Okay, so now let's go to the buttons, back to the buttons. Go to object mode. Oh, I did it again. I put the layer that I was on invisible and I couldn't do anything. Okay, so screens. Where am I? Screen. No, buttons. Focus. I gotta figure out a better scheme for this. That took way too long to find. Okay. So now we got the cell buttons. And what if we added a separate glow effect to this one? We did add instead. And the glow color. Oh, I didn't even play with the glow color. Hold on. Let me go play with the glow color. So let's go back to screen. What is this screen? Oh, so we're gonna call this screen outline. I'm just renaming some stuff so they make more sense. So this glow color. Oh, this is cool. Okay, cool. So I think it should be a color. Probably leaning closer to purple right now. Purple blue. Just kind of like a glow like that. Yeah, it's probably the same that it was before, just a little darker. Great. Alright, got the cell phone going. Got the contacts. Let's play with these buttons now to see how we can make them pop, how we can make them look good. So maybe we should use different colors. Maybe we should use like maybe we should use a similar orange. Take off the outline. How about let's do a gradient. Would that look cool or not? Would it look cool or not? Sorry guys, I act a little silly sometimes. Cool or not? Am I right, bro? I don't even know what accent that is. I don't know what I'm doing. Surfer, California surfer. Yeah, man, like totally. Oh, gradients is what I love. Okay, so let's do it with purple, because that's always where I'm at in my life. All right, so we're just messing with the location here. There we go. Just trying to find where that gradient is. so I can have more control. It's kind of hard to do. I much prefer using nodes for this. So these buttons are looking pretty sweet already. Super sweet. So they're blending between this color and that color. So we'll do 0.5. So that's cool. We can rotate them. That doesn't look fun. And maybe now we're just gonna rotate through colors to see which buttons look the best. Let me know if you guys have a preference. We got baby, we got cyan or turquoise, seafoam green. We got blue, sky blue, dark blue, navy blue. Let's see what else we got. We got purples and pinks, sunset. You know, I think the green, I keep wanting to lean towards this green blue. I think that's where I'm sitting at with my aesthetic. Spitfire storyboards. That's looking nice. It gloweth. It glows. I'm making a cell phone. I'm making the monolith that is what controls our life. Alright, let's see if the stroke will look cool. I mean, I don't know how I feel about a stroke. Spitfire. Green, blue, or purple? I think you're absolutely right. I may go purple, though. I mean, this is closer to pink, but we're just going to keep on going for right now. If we need to fix it, we'll fix it later. We'll take away this orange. Maybe it'll look nice if it was more invisible, like it's like light. Let's see. What is happening there? See how that button kind of disappears here? Oh, it's not doing it anymore. Oh, there it is. What is happening there? Let's figure out what that glitch could be real quick. Let's see if we can fix it. Let's go to strokes. Let's do 3D location. 2D location. It doesn't do anything. Screen space. World space. Let's see if moving it forward does anything. Oh, it does. So can it just not... Is it a certain angle that it just can't intercept? Because it's really far away. You see that it's far away from the screen. Is it because it has an effect on it? No, it doesn't have any effect. Alright. Maybe it's because the glow. Is it the glow that's probably happening? Like maybe if we went to the screen. Right, because let's replicate it. There it is. Right here. You can see that it's cutting in. Is it the screen glow? Well, definitely the screen is affecting it. It's definitely not the screen glow. I guess it's just the way that it's like maybe being rendered. Maybe if we put this in 3D location. That helped. There it is. So we had a little glitch here where in the screen it was cutting into it. See how this third button, it was cutting in? I think that has to do with the way that the grease pencil orders its layers and how it like shows it on screen. And what helped is going to the stroke depth order under stroke on the screen and just putting 3D location, and then that solved it. It also looked like it solved something else. Oh wait, it's making my blocks go away, my text blocks appear. Alright, so we definitely want this fixed, because look at that. That looks crazy. If we wanted to animate that, that'll destroy our animation there. So let's 3D location, and then let's bring back those screen panels. I think the issue is that they're in the screen, and they're back. Boom, we brought them back. We fixed that glitching issue. It looks like I can now bring these buttons a little closer, like I intended. There. Much better. Still deciding on this transparent thing here going on. Overlap. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe if they were like light, or maybe if they were dark. Maybe if they were darker and smaller. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so okay, we got our buttons going on. We got our text blocks. Cell phone's looking pretty sweet. And I think that this text block can just be one rectangle. So let's do that. Is it here? It is there. Is it here? Screen panels. We will make this lower. And we will delete this one. And we will stretch out this one. Alright, so let's put a name on the screen just to have a little placeholder. Let's put it right here. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing we did before by moving that cursor. So select those points. Cursor to selected. Cursor is exactly where I want it now. Go to object mode. Ooh, that glows. Looking pretty cool. We'll select text mode. Okay, we will rotate this text on the X by 90. We will then mess with some text stuff here. So we will put this on the center. No, center. Center. We will then go to fonts. Nope. Text boxes, spacing, geometry. Hold on, guys. Size. So we'll make the size a little smaller. We will give this a text material. And by text material, I just mean an emissions. I can't spell for anything. My keyboard's all wonky. No, I'm all wonky, not my keyboard. I'm not blaming the tech. Okay, so there's my text. We'll bring it down. Ooh, that's not what I want to do. Okay, we'll bring it down to where I think it needs to be. This material, we forgot to change it to an emissions. There we go. We'll make it this light blue instead. There's the text. And we will pick a font before we write what we want to write, so it's all correct. Let's see what we got here. One of my favorite fonts. It's a very basic font, and it's not even here. What are we doing here? Oh no, my font's not here. Let's sort this by name and see if I can find my font. Not my font. I didn't make the font. Gee willikers. I guess not. I guess not. I guess we'll go basic, guys. We'll do Verdana. For now. No, let's do a cool font, man. There has to be a cool font I have. Fonts, you could spend like hours just on fonts. Would be blocky look fun? Yes. Yes, I'll do blocky for now. And let's see if we can put one of our people who are watching, put the name. They're the ones who's calling this cell phone. Let's see. We'll do Spitfire. Spitfire. Spitfire SB for storyboards. Good stuff. Let's make this smaller. All right. maybe maybe all caps. Maybe all caps. We'll just do Spitfire for aesthetic purposes. There we go. Spitfire is calling my cell phone. And I like the font where it's at. Let's see if we can make it a little bigger. Z. There we go. And then now that it's there, we got that Spitfire phone caller, mysterious phone caller. Yes, Spitfire, I do. You're such a great guy. So I will put cursor to selected, and I would rotate this 45 degrees on the X. There we go. It's hard to see the effect, but it's coming off there. Maybe I can rotate this camera again. There we go. We got Spitfire calling. Spitfire calling. It's so funny. Let's rotate this on the X. Let's be deliberate with this. 90. Nope. 45. Great. And then we'll rotate on the Z. Or the Y. There we go. The Y. There we go. Alright, so I like where this is going, and I see that obviously this doesn't have a shadow like you were saying. But let's see if we could do a solution that would help us here. So let's duplicate the Spitfire, and then cancel out rotation, and then rotate it by the X90. And then for this one, we will use a different material, and by that I just mean making a different copy and calling it dark. And then we will change this to just be dark. Look at that, guys. It's probably needs to be off of this material. It looks like it's glitching. Oh, it's part of the glow. It's part of the glow. Okay, cool. So Spitfire, boom. It's coming off a screen. We made a fake shadow there with the duplicate of the thing. One thing I'm seeing. Oh no, that's part of that. Let's erase this. So yeah, this is looking pretty sweet here, guys. We got a phone, and it has a shadow, a fake shadow. Like Spitfire is coming right off of there. So that's pretty cool. We got our buttons going on. Let me look up. I gotta look up something to see if I have some icons I can use. 1 second. This app I'm using is called Everything. It's for the Windows machine. It's such a faster search than the Windows search. Definitely check out this Everything app to search for files. So I'm gonna move this away so you guys can see all my files. And I'm looking for some stuff here. Oh, there we go. Let's keep on going. Yeah, I'm just looking for some icons. I know I have them on here. I just need to figure out where they're at. So stand by while we wait here. If anybody wants to tell me a story, how you guys doing out there in the chat world, how you liking how this is going so far, how's your project if you're working on one, like, you know, let's do some chat me up here, guys, because this is just me searching for something real quick. Oh, I may have found it. I may have found it. Let's see if I can. Yeah, what type of issues is it coming? Are you getting to? What are the difficult parts of it? So I can probably use this one. Icon, sound bold. Okay. All right. Spitfire, whether I append or copy over the rig, is breaking. I'm getting there bit by bit, but not sure. Hard to describe. Oh man, rigs breaking is always the worst. Because rigs, for me, rigs are so complicated. At least when it involves a lot of bones and stuff like that. Okay, library. All right. Images. All right, let's see what we got here. We got some UI elements that we can use. Hey, I might use these dots. I might use those dots for something. Let's see, just looking through these icons. Something that makes sense, something that works. No cell phone ones, unfortunately. So we'll definitely use the speaker. Maybe these play buttons. The internet button. Alright, let's use the speaker first. See what it's called, and then we'll get to it. Oh man, so many icons. There it is. It's called Sound Bolt 512. Let's do it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is now, let me put a grid on because I'm getting kind of disoriented. Okay, so I'm going to make, oh, let me put that text part of the cell phone. This, and parent it. And see, I parented it, but it's not part of the collection, so it's in here in like grayed out form, but it's actually here. So really, you want to keep it all together and put it in the same place. And there we go. Now I should be able to get this and move it all around. We got some fun stuff looking. Some fun cell phone stuff. Okay, so we got that. Let's make this invisible and center our cursor and import image as plain. And I'm going to get these icons. Oh, I could have just looked at it this way. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Okay, so let's bring this. It's gonna emit using alpha. Make sure that's all set. And there's our icon. Good stuff. We will bring this out. No. Where's my image? We will bring the image out. We will make this go away, and we will make this go away. There we go. So this thing kind of just disappears in front of this thing, which is kind of interesting. Is it because, hold on. Nope, off a blend, backface. Huh. Backface culling, show backface. Screen space refractions. Alright, so I have this image as a plane. I'm gonna rotate it on the X by 45 and see why this is not turning out well for me. Thought it would be as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we'll put it right here. We'll line it up. We'll look at it and we'll wonder why it's not appearing. And this is something that's kind of interesting. So yeah, I can't even see the icon in front of here. Is it because these buttons are rendering a certain way? Like, let's see if we take away the buttons. If you take away the buttons, you can't even see the thing unless it's also the screen. So let's see the screen as well gone. So now you can see it. It's there. Spitfire. I mean, I didn't mean to say your name. I was just thinking out loud. Yeah, so it doesn't appear in front of these buttons. Does it have something to do with the 3D layer stuff? The 2D layer stuff? Does it have to do with the shader of the thing? Should I put it in with the cell phone? Is this shader? Let's see if it's the shader. Transparent. Okay, so my idea for getting the icons using a text image, putting it over the grease pencil is a no-go because the grease pencil appears in front of it. And I don't think there's a solution for that. I think that's fine. Moving on. That was an excellent waste of time. Alright, so we got Spitfire going there. We got the name. Cool. Let's add some details on the side of the phone. Let's add some more buttons. And we'll do that by adding another grease pencil object. Give some details here. Grease pencil, stroke, blank. It's in the center. We'll go into draw mode. From view, we'll do another square. That goes right through the center. Alright, obviously not that. We'll do surface, and then do a layer, and the material that we'll use. The material that we use is fill. And we will start with these colors as usual. And this should be in emissions. Oh, what am I doing? This is the wrong... Ugh. Two different materials. Alright, so let's build a little button here. Great. I'll grab, scale, there we go, copy it. There we go. The material though, not looking good because it's using lights. This materials, these buttons are floating out, but maybe that's a cool thing. You know what I mean? Like, let's see if we select them all, cursor to selected, rotate from the cursor, and we rotate it to 45 on the Z. I did the wrong thing. Okay. So we'll grab it, rotate Z45. Maybe on 45, negative 45. Great. So now we got these buttons on the left that are looking dull because of the color choice. So we'll make those colors much more vibrant. I'll probably use the same purple as this to keep consistency. And we will add a glow. That's pretty cool. So it's looking mighty sweet over here. Let me rotate the camera. Looking at that right screen there. Once again, I'm rotating at the wrong point there. So cool, we got a button, and since they're that like that, I think what I'm gonna do is, before I rotate them and pick their colors, I think I'm gonna make them bigger and longer. Okay, now rotate them on the Z45 negative. For the color, choose that pink that we were already doing. Give it the glow, hit save. Give it 100 by 100. Maybe make this a little brighter, the vibrance. I don't know how I'm feeling, guys. So it's looking kind of cool. I think it's a little too high. We'll bring it down in the Z. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to center my cursor. And then I'm going to do what I did before, where I get the grease pencil. I'm in edit mode. Do Control M for mirror and hit X. But I'll duplicate this. So Control M, X. And now we got this duplicated. We got some symmetry going on. And I think I'm going to draw on those surfaces as well. And I think I may delete one of these. No. Maybe lower them. Cool. We'll just leave them there for now. Liking how where this is going. Let's see. What next? What next? So these are basically going to be like simulations of like buttons in the air, like if they're being projected from the phone itself. We'll take away this grid. That's pretty annoying sometimes. It's looking pretty cool. A little shadow in the back and stuff. I think I want to finish this soon. So I'm going to figure out something to do with the screen and the background, maybe add like a texture to it, and then start drawing in all the things that I want to draw in and seeing if I even get to the animating part. It's getting kind of hot on my end over here. So all right, so let's do what I was saying. First, these buttons, right? I think these buttons, the colors can be tweaked a bit. There we go. Brought that vibrance up. The blue glow, the main one. So right now, Spitfire asks, "Where's the main blue glow? Where's that coming from? It looks good. Thank you. It was a happy accident that happened, but I basically separated the screen after I converted the mesh into a grease pencil object, and then that's the screen right here, and it's just the screen. So I'm clicking it on and off. So if you see the screen, all I did was put the glow on it, and then, you know, have the opacity on. I picked the color for it, so you can really art direct this, make it green and make it not match. And then since it's only on the screen, it lights up the screen, and then everything else kind of like sits on top and stuff. So for these buttons, I was thinking, would it be cool if they were transparent, or at least the top halves were transparent? Maybe a little transparent. I don't know. I think it adds a little bit of dimension if they're transparent. Same thing with this one, maybe a little transparent. Oh, that looks weird. It like totally cuts off the glow from the. So we'll keep this we'll keep this going. Great. What else can we do here? Oh yes. Oh no, I can't do that. Let's try importing an image again, like I did before. Images as planes. And seeing if I can use, you know, something from my cat icons, but like in a more creative way, since they don't really work. Like these dots. Okay, so these dots are looking cool. I'm basically using an image as its plane, but unfortunately the grease pencil appears on top of it, but we're going to take advantage of that, and we're going to just use it as a background element. And honestly, maybe I'll use some different dots here. Maybe I'll use image as plane, go back to UI resources. Let's do a lot of dots. Let's do like, maybe that grid that you were talking about would work, like you said. You know, if we rendered that, you know, that'll look pretty sweet there. The grid's a little washed out for me, so let me see if I can make that better. I mean, that is kind of better. Is my bloom on? There we go. And what if the color for it, so it's transparent, or this color? Let's do a mixed color RGB so we can mix the color of the grid with something else. So see, maybe purple. There we go. That's looking pretty cool. I definitely like where this is going. So now that we have this material set up, I have this this image going on, looking pretty sweet. Why is it not working? I rendered it and it didn't look like the way that I wanted it. What's happening here? Interesting. So it looks good on my screen, right? With a purple image there. But when I render it, doesn't look too good. It doesn't make the background purple. Huh. A mystery's afoot. So if I did this, it would just be purple. This is obviously shadow mode is none. Show backface? Is that what it is? No, backface culling. Interesting. I wonder why my image that I'm using for the grid is not showing up. And definitely I know there's a solution. I can just make a grid, color it and stuff. But I guess what I'm wondering is how do images affect the overall render? It's not making any sense to me here. It looks like it's glowing, doing all this cool stuff. Oh, we're gonna have to solve this together. I might give up soon though, but it does Spitfire. The grid looks real sweet, but the issue is like, let's say I got it like this, you know, looking good in the viewport, right? But then when I hit render, right, F12, it's like it's not applying the shader. It's not I don't know what's happening here, but it's definitely not applying what I think it should be applying. Is it because the strength is too high? What if it was strength 1? Viewport render work? Let's test it out. Render. Oh wait, when you say viewport render, where's that button? Can you tell me where that is? Viewport render is always fallback at least. Yeah, where's that button? I think I'm missing it. Render image, render animation. I thought it would be here. Is there a please let me know, Spitfire. It's in viewport render. Yes. Huh. Let's try it. Did I press the wrong button maybe? Viewport render image. Viewport render. Viewport render animation. Viewport keyframe. So in view, and then viewport render image, take a snapshot of the active viewport. Yeah, this is it. So when I click on it, boom, nothing. Doesn't even render the effects on it. What is happening? In viewport image should do it. Let's see. Yeah, something. I think I maybe messed something up or something. But when I hit viewport render, still light. Still light. Behind it? No. I think like it's just, you know, it's even I can even leave it behind it. Yeah, it'd be cool if it looked like this, where it's just glowing. See, that's looking pretty awesome. But then viewport render, and it's not. It's not glowing. Interesting stuff, huh? I think this looks so cool, man. Why can't I just get this right here, right now? Must be some sort of like rendering thing that's happening that I'm unaware of. But what I will do is, let's see if I could just do this then. Let's just make the solution and stop. Let me stop gawking at it. And oh, I'm not even sure what's happening here. Holy crap. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's just do the thing I was doing before. And you know, make a grid. Convert. Take out the fill. Take out the layer for fill too. Make smaller. Paint the stroke. Take off the lights. Put in a glow. Make this more or less saturated. Ooh. Let's do some sculpting on this grid. Maybe I can make it look a little cooler. By randomizing it. I think I want to randomize. Can I randomize? Apply tweaks to stroke by painting over strokes. Let's see. Let's do the thickness. Strength. Alright, so then let's just try and copy the same thing. Except this time, oh, let me use my tablet. I have a tablet. Oh, I misplaced my pen. Oh, there it is. Alright. So let's just fade some of these edges out. Like that. That's still looking pretty sweet. And that works, right? Yes, it works much better. What if I did self-overlap? There we go. Let me see the difference between the colors being overlapped and not overlap. So we'll go to slot 2. Right now that was overlap. So let's see. Absolutely nothing. there's nothing. There's nothing different about them. All right, and then for this glow, right? Can I make it more intense? How about add? No add. Can I make it 100 by 100? Can it glow under? Can it be 16 samples? Cool. What if I added that background back? Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. Obviously, I don't like that color. So definitely be something like maybe the color. Let's see. There, and I think I'm gonna change this background, guys. So we'll go to world, and we'll just disconnect it. We'll keep this here for now, just in case. Just in case, we'll click on it, and we're gonna do my favorite gradient stuff. So right now, we have this going on, which is just the normals. But if you change this to a color ramp. Change this to the colors that you want. Let's just do something wacky right now, and then we'll fix it later. And then we'll do a convert, separate, XYZ. You can see that you can create a gradient from top to bottom. Let's see if I can further define it. Ooh, it's going sideways. Is that maybe object? So there's our gradient going on. Oh, that's right. Let me do a mapping node. It's possible that I need to rotate these. Alright, let me bring the camera back. And let me rotate the whole cell phone. Oh, forgot to attach these buttons. And then we'll do a side button here. And then we will make it the cell phone the parent. And also make it part of the collection. And rotate this just to see what it looks like. Let's see what that render looks like. That looks like a lot of fun. It's very shiny. But here's some stuff happening that I didn't expect. So let me Alright, I'm still setting the world colors here. I'm trying to figure out these colors, where they're at. The camera's there. X. Get a math note here. I'm just messing around. Basically, shaders is just like messing around until it works, until something looks nice, especially if you don't super skilled at it. There you go. Okay, so we got these colors going on. I don't even know if I like them. I just wanted to get that gradient in the background. So let's see what that looks like real quick. Oops. Looking pretty sweet. Let's see if we can intensify this color. I usually do. I experiment with this a lot, and I put the value even just brighter. So it's a really bright color, really fading into that. Let's see what else we can do. The glow is basically going away with this background, isn't it? Like that glow does not even matter. Let's compare it. Let's go to slot 2. And let's figure out if that glow is even doing anything. Let's go to screen, glow, and for now we'll take it off and we'll render. Alright, let's see. Oh, I see. If you look at the edges, the glow does affect the edges. It gives it more of a gradient to it. So I guess it kind of does. So we'll keep it. We'll keep the glow. Thank you, Spitfire. He said, I like the pink coming in from the side, and I appreciate it. I think it looks pretty sweet as well. I'm going to play with this blue color real quick. Maybe I can do something different so it doesn't have to be blue. It's something that makes the cell phone stand out a bit more. Alright, we're getting there. I wonder what these artifacts are on the edge here. Sorry, got a message on my phone. Thought it was from work. Alright, so we got that going. That green, obviously I need to change that. I need to change that right now. So let's fix that. This color here. Looking at the image on the right, seeing what color will best suit this. I think white, just straight up white, is gonna look good here. So bring that vibrance up, self overlap, you know, and then let's see if we can move this here. Kind of frame it up a bit. Try to avoid some tangents. Maybe make it bigger. There we go. All right, got that going. Spitfire still Spitfire, man, this is turning in so nice. I assume you're saying, and thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, it always looks like nothing for like 90% of the time, and then at the end, you know, you add that polish and stuff. So right now, real quick, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to figure out something to do with this pink. The pink's not standing out anymore for the buttons. So I'm talking a little faster so I can do this maybe within the next 30 minutes and have at least a decent image. We're gonna turn the pink and make it a different color, maybe closer to like the screen color. The screen color probably will look better. There we go. That color. You can no longer see the one on the other side, but I guess that's okay. What I need to figure out now is what's causing these artifacts. Let's check. So what causes the artifacts is that line. It looks like there's a double line there. So we're going to figure that out real quick. We're going to solo that numpad. We're going to figure out if there's a double line. There is a double line. Jeez. Okay. Alright, let's figure out if we can fix that double line without destroying anything. And we can. Right. Is that the one I wanted to delete though? Great. It's looking all crinkly there, so I think I'm just gonna make this one. Oh, it erased part of it. What the hell? Okay, so just for now, I'm gonna lower it so I can see this double line. Is there a double line now? No, there's not. What if I make it thicker? Okay, grab Y. Okay, so it's not looking too crunchy right now. I gotta fix all these. I call them crunchy, but like just real jagged. Just want to make sure it has a nice outline. So it is. So it's because the stroke, right, is, yeah, the stroke is conflicting with the geometry here. So we're gonna fix that by I'm gonna try a solution like fixing the stroke thing. Let's see, 2D. I'm sorry, I'm not educating. So I'm gonna change the strokes depth layer to see if that changes the fact that it's jagged. It does not. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it slightly bigger and call it a day, because I'm not gonna spend all day here. And plus, we could just say it's aesthetic. Am I right? You know, it is coming off a little bit, but I think that's part of the coolness of it, right? Maybe I will even make it a little shorter. There we go. We will do the same with the rest of my lines here. Edit mode. We'll make them a little bigger. Well, first we'll make them a little thicker. Render them to see if they give those weird edges. They do. Make them a little bigger then. What's interesting is this up here. They're like different lengths, so we're gonna fix that too. Also, we can make this a little smaller. It doesn't have to be that big. Never mind. I guess it really does. Okay. Still looking a little jaggedy down here. Don't like that. Little dots. So we'll just make it a little wider. And I wish they were all the same thickness. This is bothering me now. No, it's because they're not connected. Is that what's happening? That's what's happening. Alright guys, we're gonna undo a couple times and we're gonna fix this the right way. Okay, so we're gonna go to edit mode and figure out how to select all of this. There we go. Should just hit A, honestly. Okay, so what was happening before, they were changing thicknesses because when I selected it, I thought I was selecting the whole thing, but I wasn't. Now I am making it thicker, making it go up, and I'm making it thicker because when it intersects with the geometry, it causes some jagged edges. It's no longer anymore. That's looking all right. I can, look at this one pixel right here, this one little single pixel messing everything up. I'm just kidding. It's not. And don't be that person. Just make your art, baby. So we'll do that. Edit mode. We'll make it thicker. Doing the same thing. Oh, it happened again. Select all. Then get the thickness. Then look at it. Then stretch it out where you need it. A little too stretched. Great, we're almost there. Oh man, I'm just getting these gaps here and I'm just trying to not lose control. Okay. Great. We'll make it this thinner because it doesn't need to be that thick. Okay, and then we have one last one, which is around the perimeter of the bezel. I think we just need to bring this up a little bit. That's about it. Oh, it's double lined, so I think I need to fix that. So we'll go into edit. Oop. We'll go into edit mode. Select one. Delete. There we go. And then we will bring it down again. Looks a little jagged. So 0.1. Oops. Grab by the Y. 0.01. Negative 0.1. How about negative 0.005? Here we go. Looking sweet. Let me take this camera around. Give it old turnaround here. All right. Oh, there's something weird happening here. See, at this point, I'm just like getting nitpicky. So that's a weird thing that's happening. Oh, it's because it's cutting into it, huh? So I'm watching it. There, it's not doing it anymore. So back to here. Back to rotating around. I guess in some angles, I think the grease pencil just kind of like screws up, right? Or am I screwing this up? I think it's possible I'm screwing this up. All right, so let's scale. And we'll do it when it's done there. I think I've overcomplicated this, but it's okay. I don't know, those jagged edges are getting me. 1 second. All right. Damn, I wanted to end this too. Yeah, I think it's something. Cause look, if I render it, it's just that it's touching. Okay, let's try the simplify. I hope that fixes it. No, it's see in the render it still gets these jagged edges, and it's because it's touching the geometry of the phone, at least from my understanding. So like, if it wasn't touching it, you won't see it obviously. All right, so we're gonna do some creative choices here because this isn't a project for anybody, and I just want to finish this now. Okay, so let's go back to this and let's just make a pretty image. It's already 2:15, so in the next 15 minutes I'll definitely like to be done with this and move on with my life. So we're gonna reset it, we're gonna rotate around so we have something cool. So rotate on the X 45 and then rotate on the Z. X, nope, Y. There we go, like this. I'm gonna go back into this mode and we're just gonna do some artistic stuff here. So we'll make it a line here. All right. We might just erase that line, it's too much. Pretty good. We'll bring this one up. Make it probably a little thicker. Bring it down a bit. For this top one, I'm gonna probably figure out a different color. Lower the opacity of it. I think that's looking pretty cool, except for that weird artifact there. We're gonna get these buttons here. We're gonna make them spread out a little more. Cool. Just getting an aesthetic down. I was gonna do these transparent, but we're not gonna do that anymore. Don't use lights. Oh, that's an issue too. Boom, don't use lights. Okay, this is looking a lot smoother now. Thank you. Now, if I don't use lights, would me making the opacity for this still cause that artifact? It does, so... we will do this. Is that a cool color? Regular add. Spitfire, blah blah blah. Looking good. So that's cool. It definitely can. Thank you, Spitfire. It definitely can be a little janky. Like, just messes up all the time. Okay, cool. At this point, thanks, man. You're right. You're right. Hold on, I'm gonna put my hair up. It's hot. All right, so once again, I'm gonna spend the last 10 minutes just drawing really quickly. It's not gonna look great. Okay, Spitfire, I'm going to jump out, mate. I'll send you a vid of the turret progress. Have it figured out. Have it figured out enough to do what I need. Understandable. Thank you for hopping in, chatting away in the chat. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great night. And I'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm getting off soon too. I'm just gonna just draw something on these little icons and then be done with it. I'm done. Okay. Anyway, have a good night. Alright, let's make a new layer. Let's draw on the surface. Ooh. Thanks for streaming. Always good. It always is. It's always better when you're here too. Anyway, talk to you soon, man. Have a good night. Let's get this stroke. All right. Yeah, it's pretty hot. I think I'm gonna finish this up right now. But I want to make a solution for these circles here, so let's do that real quick, and then we'll be on with our day. Boom. Oops. We're gonna duplicate this. Make another orange. Duplicate it. Contact, assign. Alright, we'll center this. Maybe we'll do a gradient. That's looking cool. We will select all the points. And we'll make a simple solution of putting just a letter on here. Where is it? Text. Put the text in the center. We'll put S. All right. Rotate on the Z 180. Rotate on the X 180. On the Y, there it is. And then we rotate 45 on the X negatively. Great. Perfect. We will move that there. We'll do the text material. We'll do one. Great. We will make this material duplicate, and then we will bring this out, but we will make this one dark. That's for that effect. Maybe even make it bigger. Change the font. That did not look like, what font did I use here? That's the one I should use here. Oh, is it already here? Hold on. Maybe I don't need to redo it. Yes. All right, we'll grab both. go. We got a drop shadow. Got it going. And I think I'm done. Oh. Let me just fix a couple things. This circle's not going in the right way. Oh, I should probably bring to front, right? Is that it? There it is. Alright, there we go. Got an S. Got a nice phone going on. I think one is good. All right, I think I'm calling it. This is it. No more. All right, guys. For I guess the last people watching and anybody watching this after the fact, thank you guys for watching and joining me doing this little grease pencil-esque type of illustration here. Obviously it needs more work, but this is just more of like a fun play test to see what we could do with Blender and grease pencil, and you know, I think it looks pretty nice, you know. Obviously I think it needs a little bit more work, but you know, it's just practice and you get to see it. Spitfire is one of my friends who also uses grease pencil. Check out his channel, Spitfire Storyboards. And he has a great grease pencil channel. Check it out. I think like I said, thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Maybe next time I will make something more interesting than a cell phone. Maybe I'll make like a sword or a gun or some other prop that maybe we can make into like a aesthetic sci-fi type of look and stuff. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Have a great day, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Okay, bye-bye.